You've been too soft, too distracted, too available. The world doesn't reward good hearts. It rewards sharp minds. It bows to those who see through illusion and act with precision. You've been conditioned to think empathy is power. Wrong. Control is power. Focus is power. The ability to walk through chaos without flinching. That's the mark of the untouchable. From now on, you rebuild yourself in silence. You withdraw your energy from people who drain it. You study your own mind like an enemy, coldly, analytically, ruthlessly, because that's what it takes to rise above the herd. Every day you choose distance over drama, focus over feelings, calculation over chaos. This is Machiavellian discipline, the art of mastering your own impulses before they master you. Comment below. I choose control. Say it, declare it, because today marks the end of your weakness. From this moment on, your focus remains on you. Every breath, every move, every silence crafted with purpose. Welcome to Machiavellian mode. Number 1, the reconstruction begins. You've been broken before by betrayal, by doubt, by your own hesitation. But here's the truth no one will tell you. Being broken was your initiation. Every fracture taught you where your weaknesses lived. Every loss exposed the parts of you that still begged for validation. Now it's time to rebuild, not into who you were, but into something far colder, far sharper. Discipline is no longer optional. It's oxygen. The world will try to pull your attention away, to feed your ego, to drain your time. But the man who learns to starve distraction becomes unstoppable. You must look in the mirror and see not a victim, but a strategist. Every action, every silence, every decision must serve your evolution. People will call you distant, arrogant, detached, good. That means they can't touch you anymore. Let their emotions chain them. Yours must serve. You, like soldiers obeying a general. Rebuilding yourself means becoming deliberate, becoming calculated, becoming sovereign. You no longer chase validation. You command respect through restraint. Remember, chaos is a test and calmness is your weapon. From today forward, every moment must be an investment in dominance. Comment below. I am rebuilding with cold precision. Number 2, the power of ruthless focus. Focus is the rarest form of power left. In this distracted world, everyone wants to win, but no one wants to isolate themselves long enough to do it. You will, because you understand that focus is not about doing more. It's about eliminating everything that doesn't serve your ascent, every notification, every meaningless conversation, every comfort that softens your edge. They are enemies in disguise. The average man wastes his life reacting. The disciplined man engineers his environment like a fortress. You will wake up with purpose, train with intensity, and move through the day like a shadow, silent, precise, calculating. You are no longer accessible to everyone because your energy is currency and you spend it only where it multiplies your power. People will accuse you of being cold, obsessed, emotionless. Let them. They cannot comprehend the mind of someone who refuses mediocrity. You are constructing a new identity, one that breathes clarity, one that bleeds intention. When you focus long enough, you become magnetic. Your silence intimidates. Your movements is influence. Your presence shifts the atmosphere. Every second of concentration carves your legacy deeper into time. You are no longer chasing distractions. Distractions are terrified of you. And understand this, focus must be defended like a kingdom under siege. Guard it with discipline, protect it with solitude, and enforce it with willpower. Machiavelli once said, "It is better to be feared than loved." So let your focus make you feared by weakness itself. When your mind is aligned with your purpose, no chaos can reach you. No insult can pierce you. No failure can define you. You become untouchable because you have mastered the art of attention in a world addicted to noise. From this moment forward, your life is a mission. Everything else is interference. Comment below. My focus is my fortress. Number 3, emotional control. The silent weapon. Powerful men are not those who feel nothing. They are those who master what they feel. Every emotion is a potential weapon or a potential weakness depending on who wields it. The weak man reacts. The strong man calculates. Most people live as slaves to their impulses, but not you. You are a strategist of the mind, a commander of your own state. When anger rises, you convert it into precision. When pain hits, you turn it into focus. When envy whispers, you silence it with purpose. You must become emotionally sovereign, untouchable by chaos, unreadable to those who seek control. People will provoke you to break your composure, but you will not give them the pleasure. Your calm will disturb them because it reveals their lack of discipline. The man who controls his emotions controls the energy of the room, the direction of the conversation, and the tone of every interaction. You are not cold. You are composed. You are not heartless. You are strategic. Let others drown in reaction while you remain still, aware, powerful, emotional. Control is not repression. It is refined awareness, the ability to feel fully yet respond logically. This is the highest form of strength, masculine stoicism, sharpened by dark psychology. The world fears the man who cannot be emotionally manipulated because he cannot be predicted or provoked. You must become that man. Never let anger, love, or pride dictate your moves. Only logic and long-term vision. A man ruled by emotion is a puppet. A man who commands emotion becomes a king. In moments of chaos, breathe and observe. Let silence be your power move. Let patience be your weapon. When others scream, you whisper. When others act impulsively, you plan 3 steps ahead. That is Machiavellian. Discipline in its purest form, the art of appearing calm while controlling everything. Comment below. My emotions serve me, not control me. Number 4, isolation, the forge of power. Isolation is not loneliness, it is refinement. It is where weak men break and strong men are reborn. The crowd will never understand why you disappear. They will call you antisocial, distant, cold. Let them. They mistake solitude for sadness because they have never met themselves without noise. You, however, understand that isolation is where power sharpens. In solitude, you confront the raw truth about who you are, your flaws, your fears, your desires. You strip away illusion until only reality remains. Most people run from silence because it exposes their emptiness. You walk into it because it strengthens your mind. When you are alone, there are no distractions, no external validation, no masks, only the truth and your will to master it. The man who thrives in isolation cannot be broken by abandonment, rejection, or betrayal. He has already faced himself and survived. Isolation teaches self-sufficiency, the art of emotional independence. You stop seeking approval because solitude teaches you that power doesn't beg, it builds. You learn to move in silence, plan without witnesses, and execute without applause. In the shadows, you become dangerous, not because you wish harm, but because you no longer need anyone. When you detach from dependence, you reclaim your energy. When you stop explaining your moves, your aura becomes unpredictable. The more time you spend alone, the more you evolve beyond the ordinary. You will notice the world's noise fade, the opinions of others lose weight, and your focus grows sharper than ever. The man who embraces solitude becomes the architect of his destiny, free from manipulation and distraction. Understand this. Isolation is not exile. It is elevation. It is where you build the mental armor that no one can penetrate. The man forged in silence moves through life with unshakable calm because he no longer fears being alone. He has become his own ally, his own empire, his own weapon. From this day forward, treat isolation not as punishment, but as privilege, the crucible, where kings are created and pretenders vanish. Protect your solitude the way you protect your purpose, because both are sacred. Comment below. My solitude builds my strength. Number 5. The law of detachment. Freedom through control. Detachment is the final stage of inner power. It is the invisible armor that separates men of control from men of chaos. Most people are addicted to outcomes, chained to emotions, and enslaved by attachment. They chase approval, validation, and comfort, and in doing so, they lose control of their own minds. But if you are to ascend into the realm of power, you must learn the ruthless art of detachment. Detachment does not mean indifference. It means dominance over your responses. It means mastering the space between action and emotion, desire and decision. The Machiavellian man operates from clarity, not craving. He understands that attachment clouds judgment and weakens execution. When you detach, you see the world for what it is, a chessboard, not a playground. Every move is deliberate. Every silence is strategic. Detachment gives you the ability to act without hesitation and to retreat without regret. You stop needing to win every battle because you already control the war. When you no longer depend on external validation, you become unpredictable, and unpredictability is the purest form of strength. The detached man cannot be manipulated because nothing owns his emotions. He is calm when insulted, focused when doubted, and composed when tested. People will try to lure you with praise, love, and promises, but you will learn to see through them. Detachment is not about avoiding connection. It's about choosing power over dependency. You can love someone and still walk away. You can value something and still let it go. You must train your mind to remain steady when the world tries to shake it. Discipline and detachment are brothers. One builds control, the other maintains it. Together they create psychological freedom, the ability to move through life without being enslaved by anything or anyone. The man who has mastered detachment moves like a shadow, unstoppable and unmoved by circumstance. His emotions serve his mission, not his ego. His loyalty belongs only to his purpose. Remember, the less you need, the stronger you become. When you detach from outcomes, your actions become fearless. When you detach from people's opinions, your confidence becomes unbreakable. When you detach from comfort, your ambition becomes endless. This is the law of the untouchable. Control yourself and the world cannot control you. Comment below. I move with calm detachment. Number 6, the art of strategy. Thinking like a predator in a world of prey. Strategy is the highest form of intelligence, the purest expression of power. It is what separates the calculated from the careless, the rulers from the ruled. A man without strategy is a man walking blindfolded through a minefield, reacting, stumbling, dying without ever realizing how the game was being played. You must become a strategist in every sense, every word, every silence, every appearance, every retreat must have purpose. Nothing about you should be random. You must think like a predator in a world that glorifies prey. Observe everything, reveal nothing. The more unpredictable you become, the harder you are to control. The average man moves emotionally. The Machiavellian man moves tactically. He plans 3 moves ahead, hides his ambition behind calm eyes, and makes every loss look like indifference. He studies people not to love or hate them, but to understand how to use them, align them, or outmaneuver them. Strategy is not cruelty, it is survival. The world is built on manipulation. Either you learn to use it or you'll forever be used by it. Stop reacting to emotion. Learn to weaponize patience. Every impulsive act costs power. Every strategic move multiplies it. You must learn to create illusions, appear weaker than you are, appear dumber than you are, appear indifferent when you are calculating. The greatest victories are earned without confrontation, through perception, through quiet influence. Remember, words are tools. Silence is leverage, and timing is warfare. You cannot win by being loud. You win by being precise. Strategy requires restraint and Restraint is born from control. The strategic man knows when to attack, when to wait, and when to disappear entirely. He plays the long game not for applause, but for domination. Understand this truth. Every conversation, every alliance, every move in your life is a negotiation for power. Those who think otherwise are already losing. Learn to read intentions, study reactions, and anticipate betrayal before it occurs. Keep your motives hidden, your plans invisible, your demeanor calm. Let others burn with passion while you stay cold and deliberate. You are not emotional. You are methodical. You are not reckless. You are calculated. Strategy is a form of art. The art of control, the art of prediction, the art of silent authority. While others crave attention, you build leverage while they waste energy, proving themselves that you quietly position yourself to win. Strategy is the language of the elite, the silent code of those who rule without noise. It teaches you that not every battle is worth fighting. Not every insult deserves reaction. Not every opportunity requires pursuit. Power belongs to the one who chooses his battles with clarity. You must become comfortable being misunderstood, doubted, or underestimated, because that's how you stay unseen until it's time to strike. The predator never announces his hunt. He simply moves in silence until the world feels his impact. Train your mind to think like that, to calculate every move, to read every room, to plan not for today, but for tomorrow's victory. Strategy is patience disguised as stillness, intelligence disguised as simplicity, danger disguised as calm. When you master it, you no longer need to chase anything. Everything begins to align itself with your intent, that is, the power of a mind sharpened by discipline and dark psychology. A mind that no longer seeks control because it has already achieved it. Comment below. My mind is my fortress of strategy. Number 7. The mask of power. Mastering perception and influence. Power is not only what you have, but what others believe you have. The perception of control is often more dangerous than control itself, and that is the secret the masses never learn. A Machiavellian mind understands that image is a weapon, a silent form of manipulation sharper than any blade. You must learn to wear masks like armor to present the version of yourself that best serves your objective. Authenticity has its place in private reflection, but in the game of power, perception is king. You must look confident when uncertain, appear loyal when observing, seem harmless when planning, and appear ignorant when gathering information. Every mask you wear is a layer of strategy. The weak man shows his emotions too early. The wise man hides them until they serve him. You must control how others experience you, because people don't see reality. They see what their emotions allow. If you can control their emotions, you can control their decisions. That is the dark psychology of influence. When you understand human nature deeply enough, you stop reacting to people and start orchestrating them. You become the invisible hand that guides their choices without them realizing it. Every gesture, tone, and pause becomes a deliberate tool. You study body language, not to impress, but to decode truth. You listen more than you speak because silence reveals what words hide. You must learn to read the hunger in people, their need for validation, their desire for acceptance, their craving for belonging, and you feed it strategically. Give them what they want, just enough to keep them predictable. Power is not about domination. It's about influence. Control people's perceptions, and you control their behavior. Always remember, appearance creates assumption, and assumption creates obedience. You can walk into any room and command authority without speaking a word if your energy radiates certainty. People obey confidence because they crave direction. They follow those who seem immune to doubt. That is why you must master emotional concealment. Never let your insecurities escape your control. They are weapons in the wrong hands. Smile when betrayed. Stay composed when tested. Laugh when attacked. Your calmness will always be misinterpreted as strength. And in this misunderstanding lies your power. The man who controls his image controls the battlefield before the first move is made. Influence is not noise, it is precision. It is subtle psychological engineering. You are not manipulating for cruelty. You are maneuvering for dominance. The Machiavellian man does not deceive without purpose. He deceives with design. You must learn to blend intellect and intuition, logic and illusion until people can no longer tell where the truth ends and your strategy begins. That is the mask of power. A projection so refined it becomes reality. The world believes what you make it believe, and in that illusion, you become unstoppable. Every legend in history mastered this balance between visibility and mystery, between charisma and calculation. To influence others, you must first master your own presentation. Speak less, reveal less, and allow curiosity to work for you. The less people know, the more they imagine. And imagination, when guided, is control. Your reputation is an asset. Treat it like currency. Guard it, shape it, weaponize it. People will underestimate you, and that is your greatest advantage. A predictable man is easy to destroy. An unreadable one is untouchable. Always leave doubt in the minds of others about your true nature. Let them debate who you really are while you quietly build your empire, control perception, and you write your own legend. Comment below. I master perception, therefore I command power. Number 8. The discipline of ruthless self-mastery. Becoming the architect of your own power. Every empire begins with one law. Control yourself before you try to control anything else. Without discipline, power decays into chaos. Without self-mastery, strength turns into self-destruction. The Machiavellian man understands that true dominance starts within. You cannot command the world if you cannot command your own impulses. Every craving, every distraction, every weakness must be identified, studied, and conquered. You are not allowed to be ruled by emotion, laziness, or comfort. You must become the architect of your habits, the ruler of your routine, the dictator of your discipline. The undisciplined man becomes a slave to every temptation. The disciplined man becomes the master of his destiny. You wake before the world. You move with purpose. You train the body to obey, and you mold the mind to submit to will. There will be days when motivation fades. Good. Those are the days that separate the real from the pretenders. The world worships convenience, but power is built through inconvenience. You must be willing to do what others avoid, to go where others hesitate, to endure what others fear. Pain is not punishment. It is refinement. Every struggle chisels your mental armor. Every sacrifice hardens your resolve. You must learn to extract pleasure from discipline itself, to feel satisfaction in denying weakness. Control what you eat, how you speak, how you react, how you think. Every small act of control builds invisible strength. Most people let impulses steer their lives. You let strategy steer yours. The man who trains his will daily becomes unstoppable because he cannot be broken by circumstance. The Machiavellian mind knows that comfort is the enemy of greatness, that indulgence weakens focus, and that discipline, though cruel, is the purest form of love toward oneself. You do not owe the world your ease. You owe yourself your evolution. The path of ruthless self-mastery is not glamorous. It is repetitive, silent, lonely, and often brutal. But in that repetition lies transformation. You will lose people who do not understand your obsession. Let them go. You will be mocked for your restraint. Let them talk. You will be doubted for your silence. Let them guess. Discipline is not about showing the world your strength. It is about becoming so strong the world cannot influence your direction. Every decision you make must serve the empire you are building within. You will not waste words, not waste energy, not waste focus. The weak seek comfort. The strong seek control. You are building a mind so unshakable that no chaos can infiltrate it. You will train daily, not for vanity, but for dominance. You will read strategically, not for entertainment, but for understanding. You will act decisively, not for applause, but for advancement. Every day you delay discipline, you delay power. Every day you surrender to weakness, you strengthen mediocrity. The Machiavellian man lives by one rule: control equals freedom. Without control, you are just another pawn moved by circumstance. With it, you become the hand that moves the board. This is not motivation. It is mandate. You are sculpting yourself into a weapon of purpose, cold, focused, relentless. From this moment forward, treat your discipline as sacred, your routine as ritual, and your evolution as law. Comment below. I am the master of my will, and my will is law. Number 9. The cold path of power. Walking alone among the weak. Power demands isolation, and few have the strength to endure it. When you begin to elevate, you will notice something. The air becomes thinner, the voices become fewer, and the silence becomes heavier. That is the price of ascension. Weak men crumble under loneliness. Strong men are reborn through it. You must learn to walk alone, not because you hate others, but because your vision no longer fits the crowd. Every man who has ever shaped history has known solitude as his companion and self-reliance as his shield. The Machiavellian mind accepts this as a necessary cost of evolution. The herd fears solitude because it forces them to see themselves. You embrace it because it forces you to become yourself. You will walk among people who claim to understand you but never will. Let them misunderstand. You are not here to be liked. You are here to be respected, even feared. When you detach from needing validation, you step into a realm where few can reach you. Your silence will offend the insecure. Your confidence will disturb the weak, and your indifference will destroy manipulators. This is how power isolates, by cleansing your circle of anyone who cannot match your energy. You must learn to be your own ally, your own mentor, your own army. When the world doubts you, you move. When they mock, you strategize. When they betray, you evolve. Every attack is a lesson, every disappointment a test, every rejection a purification. The man who endures the cold path of power walks through fire without scars because his pain has already burned away weakness. Your isolation becomes your laboratory. Your mind becomes your fortress. In solitude, you refine your purpose and sharpen your instincts until you can see through deception like glass. You learn to control your reactions, to conserve your energy, and to build power quietly, relentlessly, invisibly. You stop chasing attention and begin commanding presence. Understand this truth. Powerful men are not loud. They are precise. They move less but achieve more. They speak rarely but shift atmospheres when they do. You are not here to compete with the weak. You're here to transcend them. Every man who cannot walk alone will always crawl for approval. But you will stand in silence, untouchable, unshaken, unstoppable. Comment below. I walk alone, and my power multiplies in silence. Number 10. The ascension. Becoming the untouchable force. This is where the transformation completes. You've walked through fire, silence, rejection, and solitude, and what remains of you is unbreakable. The weak version of you died in the process, and that's exactly how it had to be. You have learned that emotion without control destroys power. That attachment without reason destroys focus, and that comfort without discipline destroys destiny. Now you move differently. You think with precision, speak with intention, and act only when necessary. You've become the embodiment of Machiavellian discipline. A strategist cloaked in calm, a predator hidden in plain sight. You are no longer driven by external approval. You are driven by internal law. People will sense the shift in your energy, even if they cannot name it. They will feel your presence before you speak. That is the aura of the untouchable, the silent, authority that needs no validation. You have learned to build empires from solitude, to create strength from suffering, to turn pain into planning, and heartbreak into hunger. You no longer seek fairness. You understand that power defines fairness. The world bends to those who impose their will upon it, and you, forged through discipline and detachment, are now capable of doing exactly that. Your focus is absolute, your composure unshakable, your movements deliberate. Every glance, every decision, every word you release into the world carries weight. You have become your own empire, a mind so disciplined it cannot be corrupted, a will so sharp it cuts through chaos, a presence so controlled it commands without words. This is the essence of masculine stoicism fused with cold power psychology, silent strength, refined dominance, pure awareness. You no longer need to prove anything because your existence itself is proof of victory. From this point on, your mission is to remain sovereign, to move strategically, to think independently, and to protect your energy like a king guards his crown. Remember this truth. Those who control themselves control their world. You are now that man, untouchable, unreadable, unstoppable. Comment below, I am untouchable. And if this series awakens something powerful inside you, remember to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because this is not motivation. This is transformation.